You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid. Ronnie Boo. I was waiting. I was going.
You always start. You usually
always
start. So I was waiting for you.
I was gonna mix it up a little, like you try to do. Like, so Dad, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Hot in these sweatshirts.
Whoa, what sweatshirt are you talking about?
Oh, these sweatshirts that you make me wear, the brand new
that I make you wear. Cool,
fucking spanking.
Good way to sell. Good way to sell.
No one's a better salesman.
That I make you.
First of all, no one's a better salesman than me.
Okay, then sell it.
These
Go ahead.
are fucking great Daddy Issues hoodies. They are awesome. They're done in Daddy Issues colors, beautiful, warm, earthy tones.
New merch alert.
No, but seriously.
What siren were you doing? What siren sounds? Whoop, whoop, whoop.
No, what was yours?
Ew. That's a siren. Not a police siren, but like a...
Okay, let's get back to the sweatshirts.
We have new sweatshirts.
Really fucking nice.
The first time we've ever done sweatshirts. And
people have been asking for quite some time.
They have.
Am I correct? They've been asking for years?
For over 1 year, yes.
Yes. I have to tell you, they're really...
Technically years, yeah.
You did a nice job, Ronnie.
So we have new sweatshirts out for the winter. Get them for, it's the holidays.
Great for holidays. I'm telling you guys.
They're really fucking comfortable.
They're really nice. But I would tell you, if you are large, go extra large. If you are an extra large, go double XL.
And, well, because they're comfy. We don't have double XL. So if you're XL, you're stuck with XL.
But I just got to, I think they're they're not a full size small, but they're like a half a size A1 small.
Yeah, I'm wearing a large right now.
And I'm wearing XL, and I'm usually a large.
But so go check them out. DaddyIssuesThePodcast.com.
Very nice and comfy.
Once again, DaddyIssuesThePodcast.com/shop.
Sorry,
you interrupted me.
All right, Ronnie.
No, I just want them to be able to hear it.
One more time?
DaddyIssuesThePodcast.com/shop. The link's also in the description. And get one before they're gone.
They're very nice.
Because once they're gone, they're going to be gone. I don't know if we'll restock.
We didn't order a huge amount.
We didn't order a huge amount, and I gave first access to Patreon. So all our Patreon members have been buying them for the past week. So they're already, there are 3 boxes. We're down to like a box and a half because the Patreon have been buying them out.
We're about 50% sold out.
Yeah, probably 40-ish.
You should look at it, though, guys. It's a really nice thing. If you are a avid listener, you love our podcast, which I know you do, it's a great thing to get. I highly recommend it.
You can show everyone around you that you have daddy issues because all the sweatshirt is just a giant daddy issues on it.
No, it's more than that.
What I'm saying is
it's our logo,
right? But all it is on the sweatshirt is it says daddy issues.
I got it, Ronnie. But yes, it looks.
But I said all that's on the sweatshirt is daddy issues.
Are we doing this?
More, but you just said there's more, and there literally isn't. But okay.
And we're back, everybody. We are back. So what's up, Ronnie?
Nothing. I had a long night, long weekend, but a good weekend.
So we were all in Miami, right? You went back to your place in Miami with Brycey Boo. And then Mom and I went. We went to Art Basel. We had a good weekend. We hung with you
For
yesterday.
those who don't know what Art Basel is, it's like this big...
Look it up. No, I'm teasing.
Don't even look it up. It's not worth your time to look up because we'll tell you right now. It's this big art event in Miami that goes on every year. It's been like
international.
Of it.
International.
Well, it's in Miami. It's only in Miami, but people from around the world.
All over the world. Right, correct. Means it's known internationally. It's a huge thing in the art arena.
In the art world, it's like one of the biggest events, and so people come from all over the world, and it's all this high-end art, and you can just go walk around and buy and look, and then the whole city, because it's such a big event, it's like the whole city gets transformed for it. It's not just Art Basel. It's like everything becomes, I don't know, the whole city is just
based around
about the art for the week, which I hated. I didn't hate the event of Art Basel. I hate that the city, that everyone in the fucking world was trying to come to this city, and it was annoying. It was really annoying. It was so much traffic. Everything was 10 times the price.
A lot of traffic. All right, but I get. But you're 25. Take it down a notch. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm just saying.
I know, but this is part of life. It's like it's good for the economy. It's good for Miami. It's good for the economy.
Oh, it's
great for the city you live in. It's great for more people that come to visit. Might want to move here. So yeah, was it a busy weekend? Hell yeah. Was it a lot of traffic? Yeah, but it's like going to a sporting event. You go to a fucking football game, unless you have the black pass, the traffic to park it takes an hour and a half. It's like
and that's why I don't go to sporting games. I'd rather sit on the couch and watch it. You know?
Okay, but you wait online to go to fucking clubs, don't you?
And that's really stupid. And so that's
but you do that.
Yeah, and so that was one of the things too, and it was extra long last night because there were so many people. So
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. 1 minute. But some people like to go out. They have a reason to fly into Miami. Gives them
I think
it's good for business, for their business. Was it crowded? Absolutely. Is it fun? Mom and I go every year. It's just something to do, something to experience. You might buy some art. You see things, see what's going on. You meet people. It's obviously a good attraction.
Yeah, I said the wrong thing then. I didn't mean that I hated the whole it was annoying that there were a lot of people there. That's all, because everything was busier. But what did you think of the actual event?
I liked it.
Yeah, me too. It was fun.
Traffic is brutal. I agree. It's a brutal thing. And city you can't really move. But it was a nice event. I liked Scope, but I thought it was better than when we went to the one at Art Miami. But it was great. We went with friends. We hung with you yesterday, which was a lot of fun.
But like, there was nice stuff. I'm saying, like, what do you think about that world, the art world? What you have to have thoughts about the art world.
Oh, listen. I think it's a different subculture. I think there's a lot of pretentiousness. My brain doesn't work in that art arena. I'm more business oriented than art. I think the price they're asking are very subjective.
It's insane. Some of the things,
it's
like,
such bullshit.
You walk around and some of these art pieces are like $180,000
or more. No, millions.
And it's just like
millions.
And it's like, for what? This is just a picture of another thing. It's so, I don't know. A lot of it I feel like is bullshit. Like,
I think a lot of bullshit, but there is some nice pieces there.
Oh,
there was some really
really cool stuff
I could have bought that I just couldn't afford. Some of these things were crazy, and some of the stuff there was beautiful art pieces. And I got to tell you, like, I look at some of our art pieces in the house, I think they're nicer than a lot of those parts. But again, it's subjective.
But there's no such thing as not, like,
it's subjective.
Right. It's whatever you think is nice is nice.
To me, I think it's nice.
Totally.
Right.
Exactly.
But
it's just like so much of that world is just so snobby and annoying.
It is bullshit.
And a lot of the people are snobby and annoying. Not specifically just like, it's not even the artists. I think artists are usually not snobby and annoying. They're usually interesting because they're creating interesting art, at least if their art is good, in my opinion. It's the people around the artists that are the annoying ones. It's like the people who aren't artists but are in the art world are annoying as fuck.
Yeah, but
because they're not doing anything. They're just
people are annoying.
Most people in the automobile industry are not annoying.
Really?
Most people in the art
go buy a car.
They're not annoying.
It's a painful fuck experience. You want to bet it is.
Different kind of annoying.
Okay, but most people are annoying.
I don't find it like the art and the fashion world. Those are you don't get more
because there is
annoying than that.
You don't think fucking LA in the entertainment industry is?
I'm included. Yeah, that's art and fashion. But art and fashion are even more snobby than Hollywood.
Okay, but I'm art and fashion are two different, and Hollywood is entertainment. I think people just are pretentious if they have an opportunity to be, and this gives them an opportunity. And then you see the way like they dress and they act with that stupid affectation and you know, with the sunglasses indoors. People are just annoying and full of shit.
And everyone, like, so many of the people there were dressed in these weird ass fucking outfits,
the colors, but that's why you and I never liked large crowds of people. That doesn't do anything. Some people like
I don't mind large crowds of people. Like when I go to Disney World, there's no pretension there, so the large crowds don't bother me. It's the pretentious,
but then you get
snobbiness. There's no snobbiness at Disney World.
But on the other hand, you get the like white trash 400-pound woman.
But that doesn't bother me really.
I don't want to
because that person's just like You know what it is? It's because that person's genuine. Like when people are genuine, they don't bother me. Even if they're
okay.
Even if I don't like them, if I don't like someone, but they're being who they are. And like they are just fully authentic. I'm happy for them to be doing their thing. I would say 60% of the people that were at that Art Basel event were not genuine. They were inauthentic people.
Could be. We don't know anything about them, so it's a judgment call. But at the same token, if I can be home or stand in line to go to a Disney World ride with a 380-pound woman that's tatted up all over the chicken. Let me finish the chicken leg, drumstick, whatever it is, leg. On the fucking electric scooter, and the melted blue frosty in the other hand, I don't know. I'd rather be home.
Yeah,
It's just a judgment call. Maybe it's wrong with me, but I'd rather be home.
Yeah, I usually like 95% of the time, like other people don't bother me. If someone's just doing their thing, I don't let other people bother me because unless they're doing something to me. And so that's why all this stuff.
Yeah, you have more patience than I do. More people bother me than you.
Like,
but I'm also older.
Someone who's fat and is in a wheelchair and is wheeling
down the road.
Fat. That doesn't bother. Why would that bother me? She's just doing her thing.
You understand? I'm not saying because they're fat.
You're saying you'd rather not be around them.
It's like Disney. It's like that eat that fucking turkey leg and the whole thing.
But like, why does that bother you?
It's just not. I just don't want to be around.
Yeah,
I don't want to be around that.
So I went to a party last night, and this is was just, I guess, the annoying part. Alec Monopoly, who's a famous artist. First of all, like, what the fuck?
Okay, I went to the first thing. I gave you okay, that was that. I
went to the party yesterday.
Yeah, and I couldn't care about it. He does all the Monopoly stuff.
So Alec Monopoly's art is he takes the Monopoly Man, which is another person's creation,
and Richie Rich,
and he just puts it on things.
Right, and people buy it.
He just will like take a wall in a building, boom, put the Monopoly Man on. Up, it's $7 million.
I don't get it.
It's like that's someone else's thing. He didn't even make the Monopoly Man. If he made it, it would be a different story, because then it's like
Richie Rich and all that.
Right. He didn't do that. He just spray paints the Monopoly Man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And then it's this huge fucking thing. So I had like VIP wristbands to go to this party at some mansion in Miami on Lagorce Island.
How was the mansion? Nice?
Yeah, insane. So like Lagorce.
Oh, it was a fun party?
No, it wasn't. Okay. So I didn't even fucking get it. The party got shut down. I got there.
Why?
I'll get into the whole thing. It was on Lagorce Island, which is like the exclusive island in Miami. It's where like Willie Falcone and the Cuban drug lords back in the like cocaine cowboys used to live. It's like every house is fucking minimum $20 million. It's like
it's more than that even.
Yeah.
It's on the water.
So we show up to this thing, and first of all, it's this huge gate, and then there's a little gate, like a service gate that you can just walk through. So if you don't want to open the big gate to the house, right? And they're only letting people in that small gate on the side, and it's just you have to go one person at a time.
I guess it's controlled security.
Yes, but then
was it metal detectors?
No.
Wow.
The people at it. So I show up with two of my friends.
How many people total, you think?
Outside, there were when I was there were probably like 200.
Oh my god.
Maybe like no.
Everybody with a band?
No, there were only it was such a shit show. So I show up with my two friends. We have the VIP wristbands. Mm-hmm. So we go to one side, and then there's like a line of people that are just trying to get in. There were no tickets to this event. It was like you either had to know someone to be on the list, or someone had to give you one of these bands. And it was like really like who's who were at this thing. You know, it was like
Mom would have loved it.
It was Alec Monopoly's party, but then like Diplo was DJing it. It was at someone's house. And so like Diplo was the DJ. It was like a cool thing in theory. But I guess the word got out that this was happening. So many people who didn't have wristbands showed up. And the people, first of all, half the people in the line were the most attractive people I've ever seen in my life. They were literally like, I was amazed at how many attractive women were there. A lot of them were probably disgusting in the daylight without the makeup because they were all fucking fake lips and all that shit. You know, we've gone into that. But when I was there and tipsy and it's nighttime and I'm like, oh, wow. And they looked really fucking hot. A lot of people. But then it just, basically I'm just trying to get like, people are fucking assholes because it was so many people and everyone's just trying to get in because they want to be cool, I guess, and be part of this, that there was so much pushing in this line and everyone was trying to get in. There were so many fights because people were literally like trying to just push in front of you to get to the front. And it was so annoying.
Even with the VIP bands?
Yeah. And at a certain point, they just were like, we're done. They're like, we can't. I was there for 25, 30 minutes trying to get in and you just couldn't do it. And I was like, I have a fucking band. I'm trying to go. And you just couldn't get in because there were so many people trying to push their way into this house.
So they should have better security and a better system.
The security was horrible.
And no system. So
and there was a woman there too. Her name was Sabrina. Shout out Sabrina if you're listening because she was a super nice woman. And she's in a wheelchair. She's disabled. She's in a wheelchair, an electric one. And
turkey leg or no? Easy going.
No, she's not. She's not in a wheelchair because she's fat. She's disabled.
I'm not saying because she's fat.
And so she's in this wheelchair and she's trying to get through. I was talking to her and whatever, and all these people are pushing around her and pushing the wheelchair and like not even giving a fuck. That's why I started talking to her.
Doesn't it show you how if there's chaos, what's going to go on in this world, like people, no one gives a shit?
Yeah, that's why I started talking to her. I was with her for like an hour. We were trying to get in, and I was talking to her because people were pushing the wheelchair, and I saw it. I was like, get the fuck off the wheelchair. And I was like pushing people off of her, trying to protect this woman who can't protect herself. And people just didn't care. Women, men just didn't give a fuck.
Arrogance.
Just wanted to get into this thing because they thought it would be cool. And it was just super annoying.
It's retarded. Was Bryce with you?
No, because Bryce, we only have 3 bands.
So who went with you?
Me and my 2 friends.
Bryce, know them?
No. Bryce was...
you have friends I don't know?
Yeah.
Who are they? What's their names?
Rachel and Sabrina are their names.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sabrina's in the one in the chair?
No. Another Sabrina. Just
so you went with 2 girls. Look at you. Man or woman on each arm.
Yep.
Nice.
So we did, and then by the time we even got in, the police showed up and they were like, "We're done. Event's over. Everyone has to leave. This is such a shit show." And everyone left. And literally, and it just
so you got to
ruined it for themselves.
So basically, you got to blame the event planner who didn't have the proper procedure and protocol and security, because you could have had it managed, no problem.
It could have been done easy.
It could have been managed.
It could have been managed really easy. They just didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And then like Matt James, the Bachelor, showed up with that girl Rachel. She was there. I saw her yesterday.
Which was Matt James? Show me again.
The Black Bachelor. And then remember Rachel, the girl who was canceled, the white chick who was like canceled. She was there with him. They're dating. I was in line right next to them, and the 2 of them are dating.
And they didn't get in.
No, he walked right in. He was also wearing like a fuzzy cheetah onesie.
Oh, God.
I think he posted on his Instagram.
What do you know?
He looked like an absolute idiot. I don't understand what he was going for. Let's see. Matt James. It's so interesting, too, that like he was just a normal dude one day.
And it ruined him, right?
No, not even that. Here, this was the event. That's what he was wearing. A cheetah tracksuit. This was the house. Oh, so I guess Tyler Cameron was there, too.
I don't know who any of these people are.
You're just a normal human living your normal life, and then you go on this show, and now your whole life has changed forever, and you're a celebrity for what?
Celebrity for what does he do?
You're a celebrity for
what
just
is he a
being
celebrity for?
I mean, technically, like I guess he's a good celebrity because he's just being himself. Like he's famous for just being himself. He's not famous for like pretending to be a doctor, like which is what an actor does, which I think is so stupid. That's like revered. Like Tom Hanks is revered for pretending to be a pilot.
So wait.
There are actual pilots.
Whoa. You think it's better to be fucking? You give more respect and credentials to Matt as opposed to Tom Hanks?
Not respect.
Wait,
his celebrity. I think it's a better type of celebrity.
Not even
being famous for yourself.
No, not even close.
He's just,
by the way, Matt Bronson. Are you fucking kidding me? Matt. Tom Hanks is talented. Leonardo DiCaprio are talented. What they can do.
They are talented.
And how they can... No, let me finish. You got to let me finish a fucking sentence. And how they can invoke certain things. And they are very talented to portray people. Matt's just a fucking guy who went on a reality TV show that because of Instagram and social media, that made him famous. That's comical. That to me is comical. That somebody wants to follow Matt James, whatever his name is, because he's a fucking who's a fucking sellout, by the way. He didn't stand up. He didn't stand up for fucking Rachel.
They're literally together.
But when the whole thing happened, it wasn't about a black fucking movement. It was a political thing. He didn't stand up for Chris Harrison. Okay,
he didn't stand up for Chris Harrison.
He's a fucking sellout. Okay, and he has zero talent. Zero. And by the way, he is half black, half white. He didn't say anything about it. And now he's with Rachel. He should have fucking used his platform and said, stop fucking ousting Rachel.
I agree.
And by the way, and if he's still dating her, he didn't get engaged to her. I bet that was purposeful. Maybe he wanted to.
Yeah.
And he didn't because there was the black-white thing going on. I bet if this whole black-white thing never happened, he probably would have gotten engaged to her on the fucking show. Who knows how long it would have lasted, what the deal was. But it's such a crock of shit. So Matt James, a fucking guy who was on a reality TV show, it's like us. If we become famous, like that's talented? No. It's all social media.
What I'm saying, I don't think he should be more famous than Leonardo DiCaprio. That's not what I'm saying. I think it's just better. Like if you're someone famous, I think it's cool if you're famous for being yourself. Like people who like Matt James like him because he is himself. People who like Leonardo DiCaprio don't know who Leonardo DiCaprio is.
First of all,
they like him because he played. So I'm not saying one's better than the other.
Okay, but you understand there's a Matt James. You don't even know who he is.
I'm saying I'd rather be famous for me being myself than for other things I did.
But you don't even know why. So Bruce Springsteen, who's a singer, you might say he's famous for being a singer, and you're okay with that because he's Bruce Springsteen. No. But isn't an actor the same? It's just a different kind of art.
I'm not saying one's worse.
And we'll move on a minute. And Matt James, you don't know anything about him because these reality TV shows, by the way, yes. I know some of these. Remember, what they put on there is such a small percentage of a clip. You don't even know anything about these people.
I'm just saying, like us, right? Like people, when we get recognized out, we know that. Like I love that people who listen to us know us for us being us. Like,
right, but we're not cutting anything out. There's a difference. We're not on a reality TV show where they take.
But that's just all I'm saying. I'm not.
I get it.
I'm just saying, like, I think it's such a better form of fame. It's just such a cooler and more meaningful fame when someone knows you because they know you as a person, rather than someone knows you because of something else you did. That's all.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
I don't know why we keep like Matt James. You don't know anything about him because everything's on clips or whatever and little excerpts of the reality TV show. And I don't know. He does not impress me at all.
I'm not saying he's impressive or whatever. And
douchebag.
I'm just saying like his fans are fans of his because of him. They're not fans of his because his voice sounds good. You know, that's all I'm saying. And like us, like people who listen to us like us because we are who we are, and I just think that that's cool. I'd rather it be that way than people know me because of a movie I made. I'm not saying I wouldn't want people to know me because of a movie I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
Who's calling you?
Burke. He wants me to talk about the whole incident.
Okay, yeah, we definitely don't need to talk about that now.
So why'd you go to bed at 5:30?
Well, because we went to that party and then it closed at like 11. So then we went back to my apartment and met up with Bryce and other friends who were there. And then we went out to another bar and then we went out to a club after. So I just didn't. We went to Vendome in Miami Beach, which was like fine. It was so stupid. I don't like those clubs. I'm such a bar guy. The clubs are bad. The music's never good.
And you can't even hear you talk.
Oh, no, you can't hear it all. And the music's just the same. It's just... and then like the bar we were at beforehand, it's like they're playing good. They play like, do you remember?
I get it.
Like that's a fun thing to dance to.
And it's nice to talk to people. You can't even fucking talk to people in these clubs.
No.
So why do you go?
And at this club, fucking Cardi B was there and came on. They're like, Cardi B's here, gonna perform. Goes on stage and does like 30 seconds of a thing and then gets off. It's like. And Offset was there too. From that's like her husband or whatever the fuck.
But it's packed,
and drinks are $25 a drink.
You didn't buy any, did you?
Yes, you can't be. I'm gonna be sober in a fucking nightclub.
Then why go? Why fucking go?
I don't know. I regretted it.
With you
I
kids?
regretted it as I left.
You fucking kids. There's no judgment, but I don't fucking understand it. Like when you. Why would you? Wouldn't it be nice to go to like
I don't
Lanya, whatever it is, and hang out and talk to your friends and create fucking memories and
I agree.
Then go and jam pack with every fucking loser in town.
Yeah.
Whatever. The music, you came and danced. The music's so fucking loud, and you spend that money. Not in a billion. I'd rather be home under the fucking covers. It's the biggest fucking waste of time.
I agree with you.
And Bryce is spending money too on these fucking.
No, Bryce
drinks?
didn't go to the club.
Smart man.
I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. But it's just like, it just kind of fucking happens sometimes.
You need to get a fucking girlfriend. You'll have a better life.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Get a fucking girlfriend.
It's just like sometimes it happens. You're out and you just the night keeps on going. I'm just like trying to right now. I'm young. I'm in a new city.
You're trying to maximize.
I'm just fucking saying yes to everything. So if someone wants to do something, I go okay, whatever.
I get it.
And then when I get there, I'm like, I probably shouldn't. I'd rather just be home. But it's like I'm just trying to live my life to the best.
I give you a lot of credit for doing that. There's nothing wrong with just going and seeing where it takes you.
Whatever. So I have $50 less because I bought two really expensive drinks. Whatever.
Okay.
But my point is, it was an experience.
If you're with a good group of people, I'd rather 3 o'clock go to a diner with all of them and hang out.
Yeah. And so like when I was at the party with my friends, Bryce was at the apartment with his friends, and we all met up at like 11:30 and then went out all together. But they were playing card games and just like drinking White Claws on the couch, just listening to music and playing card games. And when I got home, I was like, I should have fucking stayed. Like, that sounds so much better.
Just chilling.
Just like chilling with fun people and just playing cards and stuff. Like, that's fun.
I get it.
And then meanwhile, I was standing trying to fucking fight off people and like Eastern European whores with all the fake lips who literally... There was,
they're ruthless.
No,
they're let me explain something. So
and I don't mean Eastern European whores as like a euphemism. Like literally.
No, literally. Like they look like, first of all, they look like train wrecks. So when we were in
they look like transvestites.
Yeah, they
not even
transgender. They
transgender.
had to put lipstick on. No, it's hysterical.
They were scary, and they're like not young.
No,
these women were like in their 40s, or at least they look like they are.
No, they're nasty. They literally look like crack whores with a set of tits.
And so I'm in
Don't
line.
they? Because I saw them in the fucking Miami with it, and
they're all over.
They're comical.
Yeah.
No, comical.
And they think they're the shit. They think they're entitled to everything.
And then you get the fat fucking bald guy who's got fatty arms, right? Who's also like that Russian mentality.
Yes.
With the gold, and he thinks he's big, but he's not. And he probably has no fucking body. And I bet his penis is probably half an inch fucking size.
Yeah, it was so gross. I was trying to get, like, the line just got really shitty, and I got separated from Rachel and Sabrina. They were like 4 people behind me, and so like I was about to go in, so I was like trying to grab them, right? And there was a Eastern, like I don't know where she was, but she had a Eastern Slavic accent, right. And I was like, "Excuse me, I'm just trying to grab my friends," and she just stared at me, and I was like, "Oh, my friends are just right there. Right. I'm going in."
Don't you want to punch her in the face?
And she was like, "Well, we're all going in," and I was like, "I know, but they're with me." And then she just stood there, and I said, Are you not going to? You're not going to let them come up here? And she goes, "No." And I said, "You're about to make me push you to let." And she said, "Yeah, push me." I was like, "Are you?" I literally said, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, asshole.
I was just so annoying.
Don't you want to punch him in the face?
I pushed her.
Good for you.
I pushed her body out of the way, and she was pushing it up against my arm. But she also is like, has no strength. She's fucking Eastern European nothing. So I was just holding her, and I let my friends go, and she just. I don't know. So
people
annoying.
Are assholes.
People are such assholes. So that's just like, the whole night ticked me off. But I did have fun.
Good.
With my friends.
I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah.
And who was Bronny with?
I'm Bronny.
I mean, who was Bryce with? Easy to kill her.
No,
what friends?
Yeah, you want me to name names? Jay, Megan, Nina, Nick.
Where did they end up going at?
Well, we all went to Mama Tried. I went with they didn't go out until I got back from the other party. And then we all went out.
Okay,
we can move on from this night because we've talked a lot about this night. But yeah, we had a fun weekend. Art Basel, fun.
You seem a little angry, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm reliving that night, and I'm annoyed. I'm triggered from all the shit.
Yeah.
I'm just, people are annoying, and it annoyed me.
But we had fun. We stopped by at Origin, right?
Yeah. Origin Water invited us to go to Scope. And so that they got us.
We're hanging out with Jeremy.
Event.
Jeremy was great.
And we had a fun time there. And Scope was great. And
it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. We always like to support our local listeners, right? It's a great partnership. So that was a lot of fun with Jeremy from Origin. And it was right on the beach. It was nice.
Yeah. So I guess everyone who didn't listen to Patreon is probably going to be like, "Oh, are you guys going to talk about the Omicron variant?" And no, we're not. I have nothing more to say. Unless you want to say something.
Yeah, who made Darden fucking left
sorry,
the boss?
Sorry, do you want to say anything?
No, it's a waste of my time.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't be so nasty about it. Just say it's a waste of our time.
Yeah.
But you can
if you want to listen to if you want to hear any of our thoughts on all the fucking COVID shit, just join the Patreon if you want to listen to that.
Or go back to season 1,
right.
First 3
because
episodes.
It's all the same shit.
It's the same stupid stuff.
It's the same thing going on again. So we can talk about other things. We do this one will definitely trigger you in a bad way. Gift giving season coming up. We're into the holidays.
'Tis a season to be jolly.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I was just trying to think of a pun like 'tis the season to be bally, like balls. I don't know. But if you're looking for gifts, look no further than Manscaped.
Hey, Manscaped it is. We use it all the time. It's great.
Yeah. So
did you trim your nose hairs when I told you this weekend?
I did not.
Oh my! See, that's so fucking lazy.
I did not use my weed whacker to treat.
You went out with those hairs.
Yes, I did. So
you didn't get laid.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Okay, we don't need to talk about it.
Okay.
Manscaped has got you hooked up with all the gifts you need for this holiday season. Head over to their website and check out all the great stuff. They got the Performance Package 4.0, which comes with the awesome Lawnmower 4.0, their state-of-the-art trimmer. You guys probably know it well at this point. We're huge fans of it on the show.
We love it.
But if you're looking for a new trimmer, I mean, this is the best one on the market. You won't cut yourself. You got to look good down there.
Very smooth, very easy. It's good. It's good for him and or her. I got to tell you, great stocking stuffers. They really are. They fit perfectly. We also have the new lotion and the conditioner and shampoo 2-in-1, which is great.
They have body wash,
yep,
which is new, and a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner,
which is great.
And those would probably make great gifts too. They literally will fit in a stocking,
and they're great price, very reasonably priced.
Yeah. So the Lawnmower 4.0 is it's great trimmer, wireless charging. It's got an LED light in it. It uses Manscaped's skin safe technology. That is included in the Performance Package 4.0, along with the Weed Whacker, which is their ear and nose hair trimmer. It comes with a travel bag, comes with a couple of their lotions, like ball deodorant, which is really great, keeps you smelling nice down there. You can get all this stuff at manscaped.com. Head over there, use our code DaddyIssues20, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping.
It's a great gift, guys. It is a great gift.
Yeah,
it's practical.
It's practical, and it'll make a guy. It's hard to buy gifts for guys. A lot of times they don't know what they want, especially like dads. They always have whatever. Be a good child, son, daughter, non-binary child, and buy your father a gift with Manscaped.
He will like it. I know I would.
This week, I don't even understand what like the context of it is, but Mayor de Blasio, the mayor of New York, who only has like 3 weeks left of being mayor.
Forever.
Well, yeah.
Can he get reelected?
He can become reelected, I guess.
Okay. So there's no definitive terms for the mayor?
No, there are.
Okay.
No, but you can run as many times. You can.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Meaning, can you president's only 8 years, 2 terms? Can you?
But you can run again. That you can. It's 2 consecutive terms.
Consecutive.
You can be we've had a president that there was a president in between. There was one. Who was it? I feel like one of our presidents was president twice.
Okay.
And not consecutive. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I don't know mayoral laws or rules with that. De Blasio opened up 2 centers in New York that are drug centers where drug addicts can go to take drugs legally. So it's they made it so it's illegal to do drugs on the street.
But if you're going to do them in the center.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's a legal center, so it's like safe. So that like you can come do drugs in the safe approved New York government center, and for what? I don't know.
And people are going there?
Yeah. And so the first day it opened, so the whole goal of it, I get,
is to keep them off the streets?
To keep them off the streets and to like prevent overdoses. So it says,
let them overdose.
De Blasio opens first legal shooting galleries for drug users in the U.S.
You got to be kidding me.
With just 4 weeks left in office, he launched the country's first legal shooting galleries, calling them safe havens for addicts. Overdose prevention.
Is he on drugs? Seriously, is this fucking guy on drugs? You know what it reminds me of, Bron? It reminds me of the parents say, listen, I know my kids are going to smoke pot, so I'm going to tell them, if you can do it, do it with me. Do you understand? Like, you're giving it to every fucking thing possible. Those are the fucking laws. You fucking shoot up, you do illegal, you go to fucking jail.
Yeah.
If you want to do them a favor, they must go mandatory. Instead of going to jail, you must be admitted in the drug rehab. You cannot let yourself out of drug rehab until you get a clear bill of health. Do that.
Yes, that's actual rehabilitation.
Yes, do
prison's
that.
not.
It's not. Really
going to prison for
makes you
doing
a
drugs.
Better drug addict
is not rehabilitating you as a
not
drug addict. So it says here, overdose prevention centers. This is what De Blasio said. Are a safe and effective way to address the opioid crisis. I'm proud to show cities in this country that after decades of failure, a smarter approach is possible.
Decades of failure.
That the first day it opened, there were 5 overdoses in the center.
I love it. I don't love it for the people that overdose, but
it just shows that it's obviously a bad idea.
So I have a question. Are people monitoring this? Like, no, I'm sorry. Only shoot yourself up twice today. Give yourself a 2-day break.
Yes. No,
that's
what
people monitoring?
There are people that work in the center that are there to assist you if you need, like with clean needles.
You got to be kidding me.
That's literally what the goal is.
You have to be kidding me.
And it's paid for by New York taxpayer dollars.
Good, let them pay.
to help drug addicts get drugs.
Oh, my God. Do they supply me drugs, too?
No, I don't think so. Look, you can go to the center and get
a
needles.
kit.
You get an arm thing so that you can
Syringe.
shoot up heroin. No, that's an armband so that you can get your vein to bulge,
right.
and then you can inject the heroin.
They give you a shooting up kit.
A kit of supplies inside a safe injection center.
Oh, my God.
That's what it looks like.
Wait, so...
no, this is one's in Montreal. This is a Montreal center.
They have these things. That's unbelievable.
Apparently, it's a big thing in Canada.
Look, of course. Look, it's like a cubicle.
What else?
Oh, he's a fucking moron.
The 2 Manhattan locations were chosen based on health need and depth of program experience. The sites will provide clean needles and social services, but users must bring their own drugs. BYOD.
Could you imagine?
Last year, over 2,000 New Yorkers died of drug overdoses, the highest since the city started tracking in 2000. The most common drug involved in fatalities is opioids between January and March. So I just feel like the solution is that I don't think that's the solution.
It's not a solution.
But then again, like I guess they've tried everything else.
I get it, but then Bronson,
is there a solution also?
But here's the thing: I don't wish it on anybody. But if you are going to OD, you're ODing. I'm not trying.
Yeah,
listen,
but there's got to be something we can do before it even gets to that point.
But a lot of these people,
someone who's ODing, it's not like they're just like that's what their life is. Like they got on a wrong track to get to that point. They weren't born as like someone who's going to overdose on drugs.
I know I'm simplifying, so I don't want to come off as being callous. But a lot of times, these people that have been out of drugs so many times and have gone back to, and some people just are not helpable.
No, but what I'm saying is like someone like that, right? Let's say someone who's been in and out of drugs. There's a solution before it even gets to that point. You know, like something went wrong to let it get to that point.
Drugs are very powerful. I know I have friends that have kids that it's so sad that no matter what they do with their kids, they keep getting in and out, and no one knows. There's only what can you do. Some people are not helpful.
Right? What can you do?
I understand. I'm not trying to be callous. I'm just saying because I never would want to see anybody die or overdose or have a parent have a loss of a child related to that. So I just don't understand. But what do you do? I have some people that's such a very small rate of people that really get out of it, that have the ability to get out of it. Again, I don't know the answer, but having them go into a facility like this is not the answer.
Yeah, I don't know what is, but there definitely are ways to solve it. Like, I mean, honestly, one of the biggest ways is just it. Also, my opinion is that the drug problem is a mental health problem, not a drug problem.
Right, because the drug's a byproduct of your mental health issues.
Right, and someone who's someone who's wanting to do meth has other issues in their life. No one is just casually like, oh, let's fucking try meth, you know, if you have a good life. You just aren't doing that. You're not doing that. So it's like becoming a meth addicted person is a symptom of something else.
All these drugs are a symptom of something else.
Yes.
They are.
And so that's what I'm saying, like, why fight it when it's already this late, right? Like,
but Bronson,
there's got to be something we can do early on to stop it so that someone doesn't even become a meth addict.
They have tried. Again,
but they've tried on the wrong end, is what I'm saying. Like with the war on drugs, when that whole thing, they were trying in the wrong way. They were going after the people who were supplying the drugs to stop it. It's like, Bronson, no, you have to make it so that people don't want to buy drugs.
But there's a whole component you're missing. These family members that have their children or their spouse that are doing drugs, they have tried. No one just says, "Oh my God, he's fucking doing drugs." No, we're not gonna. They have tried many times over.
But the person's already done the drug, is what I'm saying. There's got to be something before the person even tries the drug that you can do where someone doesn't even have the desire to try the drug.
But there's normal people that just have addictive personalities. There's people that are going painkillers because they had a surgery and they take it.
Right, see, that's the problem.
But listen to me for a minute. When I had my double hernia surgery many years ago and they gave me like Oxycodone,
Vicodin or
one of those. Okay. They said you could take it for pain. You know, I did. I threw it out.
Yeah. Okay. When I had my eye surgery, I dumped them down the.
Listen,
I didn't even get them. I didn't fill the prescription.
I threw them out. Let me explain to you the reason why. I said to myself, how do I know I might not be one of those people that like it?
Right.
So I'm happy with my life. I'm just saying you can get addicted to things
100%.
even if you're happy with your life and it's too late. We know people like that, Bronson.
Yes.
You're right.
Listen,
those family members Listen, those family members have tried to help them. Drugs are so powerful that I don't know what the right answer is.
There's also two things too. Like I think that there should be something done about legal drugs being the way they are. Like something needs to be done about that. And I don't know if it should be government, because I'm so against the government telling like private companies what to do. But like Purdue Pharma that makes oxy, all that stuff, like oxycodone, they opioids, like legal opioids. They purposefully make them really, really addicting. They made it on purpose. There's a new show on Hulu all about it, like all about the Sackler family, and
like the cigarettes with doing nicotine,
right? And it's like
I agree. Government should get involved with
that. That's something where we can do something about
You're
that.
right.
Like we as a people can go to the Sackler family and Purdue and all those big pharma companies and be like, don't do this. Like something needs to be done about that. And that is a huge. So it says here in this article, it says the most common drug involved is opioids. So that's not meth. That's not heroin. That's prescription drugs that you buy from a company that are legal, and you go to fucking CVS and buy them. So it's like something can be done about that. We can fix that problem.
Yeah, but so a couple of other things. So like
we don't need
what
those.
Happens with. So I've spoken to friends of mine who are recovering, who've been clean for many years. Okay, and they've said that it started off with either like alcohol or pot. Okay, they said this.
Pot. I mean, that's so like.
No, let me explain.
Such a myth that pot is like a gateway drug.
Okay, well, talk to them.
Okay,
I have no idea. Just let me finish for a second. I have no idea. I never did it.
Neither do I.
I'm not addicted, so I can't. It's like me talking about giving birth. I'll never experience that, and hopefully, I'll never experience it being addicted to drugs. But they all said, every one of them, that if you think that pot.
That's the doorbell.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. They all said if you think pot is not a gateway drug, you're delusional, because what happens, it still gives you a high.
Oh, of course.
And what they wanted was, when they achieved that high, they wanted a greater high. Every one of them.
Can I just interject for one second?
Yeah, again, you could oppose it, but
I'm not going to oppose it. I'm not going to oppose it. I'm just saying, like, do you think, because I think this, do you think that it's a type of, there are two different types of people? There are like, there's a person that can just do it and be casual and it's not a thing. And then there's the person that it's like, that once they feel the one high, they need it 100%, to get that more and more and more.
Yes, but that's not the addictive person I'm talking about.
Right. And so like, because I like drink alcohol, but it's not like, I'm like, I need to find the bigger high. I need to find the, like, I just don't feel that way. I don't have that desire, but I have friends who do have that desire.
Yes, that's my point.
And they know that they have it. And so they stay away from that shit.
Right. But my point is this. So like gambling, if I gamble $100, $200, that's it. I walk away, I'm done. There are some people who can't do it.
Right.
So my point is this. I would never know if I was one of those people. So I would say, if you don't have to tell me don't touch the flame, it's hot, I don't need to test it myself. So that's why I would not take that Vicodin or whatever it is, because I remember one time when I had LASIK surgery in my eye many, many years ago, and I was like nervous because you're awake. So they gave me like a half of a Valium.
Yep, they did that for my eye surgery too.
And I have to tell you something, Bronson. This has got to be, 7 or 10 years ago I had this done. I remember that feeling, walking there, their own surgery center in their office. I remember going from the time they gave me the Valium to walking me into the surgery center. Whatever. I remember it.
Like how good it felt.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was
euphoric.
It was so enjoyable. Like you want to have sex on that with having
it's euphoric. Yeah.
So my point is, no, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
It was so enjoyable.
That's just funny that you're like, I want to have sex on Valium.
No, my point is, it would be great to have sex with that.
I agree. You just feel so good.
Right. So to me, why fucking risk it? So there's a temptation that human beings have. So why tempt it? There are a lot of people, Bronson, and let's say not as strong-willed as you and I, or strong personalities. Right. Most people aren't, or they might have a tough day. For example, there are people that have tough days and they resort to drinking their drinks, whatever. So
there are people, most of America does that.
Most. So my point was trying to be nice. So my point is this, is that
and that means you're an alcoholic.
Listen, yes.
For you guys listening.
My point is this, the government can only do so much with regards to that, because there's always going to be problems with everything. So I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that by the time it got to the point where it's so bad, where people go shooting up like that, families have tried. The loved ones have tried so many times to help them. Some people, I know it sounds so callous, are just not helpable. But they're drained economically and emotionally, and nobody wishes anybody death, but sometimes it's a little bit easier for the family because it's such a toll.
Yeah.
By the way, I need you to go. I know, because this reminds me of something that you'll see when you watch the show. But you need to watch Mayor of Easttown.
I know.
I just finished last night. It's 7 episodes. It's 7 hours.
I'm gonna watch it.
Watch it all by tomorrow. It is great. You're going to love it, and you'll see why my brain went there because of something happened.
Okay.
But I want you to watch it.
I will. I think, like you said, there are certain people that are just going to be like that. And yes, of course.
There's certain people that can be obese. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but I think that's all. Those are also symptoms of a bigger problem. It's society. Like it's the world we live in.
No, it's not a symptom of.
There were no drug addicts in 1812.
But you said to me, I'm not going to go to
the world was too hard.
That club and not be sober. You just said
that.
Yeah. Wait, you just said that. So what's the symptom there? What's the problem? How do we correct that? That's a choice
we need to make the world better. People's lives aren't fulfilling enough, so they go. So they're going to do drugs.
We need to, or the individual needs to make their life better.
No, society. We don't have to. It's the world as a whole. Yes.
No, we don't have. By the way, we don't have to.
We do. Yes, we definitely do. It's because
get rid of social media.
The world isn't individuals.
Get rid of social media. The world will be better.
Yes, that's
period.
100%.
But it's never happening.
It's never happened.
It's never happened. So therefore, people are still responsible for their own individual choices. So the reality is, if you're unhappy with your fucking life, change your life. I know
some people are incapable of that. Like you were just saying, some people, no matter how hard you try, they just can't get out of it.
Therefore, it is what it is. Is it any different?
But that can be fixed.
We have a question.
It wasn't that way in the Mayan civilization in the 1600s. There weren't people that were just like they can't be helped. That didn't happen because society didn't allow it to happen. Our society allows it to happen because we're so good. We're so well off as a society in general that life is so easy that people have to turn to other things.
There were drug addicts back
when there was no
days.
Air conditioning. No, but I'm not talking about back in your days. I'm talking about like pre-1800s.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that the world is so cushy now that life has gotten so good that it's gotten bad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's so good.
It's too easy.
It's so good that most people our brains didn't evolve for it.
Okay,
like we're too distracted.
Let me explain.
When you're working on a farm, all day.
What you're saying is there's a lot of truth to it. I'm going to give you an example. When we grew up, you know the old saying, nothing comes out after midnight? There's a lot of truth to that, right? When we grew up, you know what our parents did? The kids had us in sports, high school clubs, theater. We were always busy. And then we did our schoolwork, went to bed. When you have too much time in your hands, you get in trouble. The problem today is that it goes back to very simple fundamentals. Everybody's on the cell phones, looking at the fucking social media. No one interacts with one another. That's what, and the parents are buddies with their fucking friends, and it's too easy and whatever. Nobody has to work for things.
You mean the parents are buddies with their kids?
With their kids, I mean, right. Like today, I went out and I ran this morning. He's like, why are you tired? I ran this morning. I worked out. I'm tired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was probably fulfilling.
Correct. You take a dog, and if you run your fucking dog, they're not going to chew up your sneakers. When you have too much fucking time in your hands, or you lock someone, this looking at the phones. Let me tell you. So last night, we went to our friend's house. Our good friends, the couples, whatever. People, if people are on their phones, I just get up and leave now. I don't want to be around people that are on the fucking phones.
Yeah,
I get up and leave.
I just think life isn't fulfilling in general. I'm not saying for me. I'm saying for society. I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about like as a whole, right? Like society.
Individuals make up society.
Yeah, but like you can't fix someone. I'm saying on the societal level,
government's not going to fix our society.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a government.
And
the government's making it worse.
You know where it's got to start? It's got to start from the fucking home. Period.
Yeah,
it's got to start from the fucking home.
There needs to be a cultural change.
How are you going to change it? From the home.
You wipe out the internet. That's how you do it. Honestly.
The internet needs to be gone.
Yeah, it really does. I love the internet, and it's so amazing in our world. It's the best thing in our world, but
it's never going away.
If the internet ceased to exist tomorrow and never came back
Better
online,
world, much better
the
world.
world would be so much better. It really would.
Now
be.
let's go back.
Pre-internet world is so much more fulfilling than a post-internet world.
Well, I can live to talk about it.
Yeah, and I can't really.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
When my whole life was internet.
All right, so now let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So it's never going away. Okay, let's assume it's never going away.
You're right. I'm trying to be optimistic, but you're right.
For purpose of this conversation, rather than saying,
to be realistic.
Right, not say, well, there is a 0.00001% of might go away. No, let's be realistic here.
Yes,
if it's never going to, it starts from the home. It starts from the home. And teaching people to be happy with who they are, not what people think about you.
But how can it? Yes, I agree.
That's where it starts.
But when you're a baby and your parents are fucked up, it can't.
Okay,
and most people are fucked up.
But listen, we all have our baggage. But you got to try to better yourself. And most people are fucked. But we can't change fucked up people. But what, Bronson?
Yeah, I don't know.
The reason why our podcast has become successful is one, we don't give a shit, and people feel and believe and think what we say. They just don't have the balls to say it. And we need more people to have the balls to say and be who they are, whatever that might be.
I mean, it's not even yeah, I agree. But I don't even think it's about that. It's just like honestly, it might be because I don't know. There's just no meaning in the world to most people. I think it used to be religion since humans started civilization up until the 1950s. Religion was gave the whole world meaning. Nowadays, it's on an individual level, right? People are either religious or not, and it gives someone individual meaning in their own life. But as a societal thing, back in the day, countries were religious. It was you were a religious country, and so it gave everything you did in the world meaning. Now, right in 1950, whatever, Nietzsche said, God is dead, right? He declared God is dead because the world became secular. People individually are religious, but the world as a whole is completely secular. And I think that from there to that was the downhill of society because no one has a meaning as a cultural level. People do it individually. But I think you need it on a bigger scale to cope with something as big as how we got onto this, the drug crisis, is a societal thing. You can't fix it by focusing on individuals. It's just too many individuals to do. You have to look at the bigger picture of things to fix that problem.
Okay, but
people turn to drugs because they don't have.
No, people turn to drugs because there's many reasons why people turn to drugs. There's bigger problems. That's the byproduct of their issues.
But I think the fact that there are even all these drugs that are made. There were drugs around in the 1600s, right? Mayans did ayahuasca trips, right? But it was never a drug people use now. It was used for spiritual purposes. It was no one abused. I mean, I can't say no one because I don't know, but it wasn't. It was a drug, but it wasn't how drugs are used now. And so what I'm saying, even in the 1800s, there was tobacco and stuff, but it wasn't abused. So now every drug is abused. No one casually does drugs
because there's a problem. So
and that's a cultural thing, is what I'm saying.
There's so many levels here. Okay, so I love martial arts. I like doing martial arts. There was a spiritual component of it, the emotional component of it, the meditation component of it. There was a lot to it. And then it turned slowly into this whole UFC thing, whatever, and it sort of turned me off because it just became more about fighting. It wasn't about an art anymore. Mm-hmm. Same with, you could say, about religion and things like that. So to me, I think that I don't see society changing. That's my opinion. I think people are going to get worse because
changing for the better.
For the better. I think people are going to get worse because people are more pathetic and the entitlement, and nobody wants to work hard. I think that the parents have to teach their fucking kids about no free rides. I think that the parents, when you work, you contribute to our society, make the world a better place. You make money, you feel fulfilled by having money in your pocket. You're contributing, you're helping people. You're placing your footprint in society. So when you leave, you've left some sort of footprint that to better the world, right? Otherwise, we're just all fucking sponges and just sucking off society. I think that a big thing is no one, and I say this all the time, no one knows how to deal with adversity. Adversity is huge. The first time something happens, like you showed me that video,
because the world's too easy.
80s, 90s, and 2000s, bumping into a wall, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking true. That when people don't know how to deal with things, so this is why they either try to commit suicide, or they want attention, or they do resort to drugs, or they want to feel better about themselves. It's okay to feel bad. Just knowing that you're going to work through it and get out of it. People don't understand that. It's okay to have a tough day, but everything, and it is no question, big business and society, big government, big business pushing this with the drugs and things like that. Everything's a label to it. People, they can make you feel better. Look at the alcohol industry, how huge it is. Huge. So why is that everybody wants to go out every weekend? They just can't fucking wait for the weekends to party. I mean, it's shocking. Right. It's terrible. Yeah, that's what you live for every night.
That's what I'm saying.
You. That everybody just lives for the fucking weekend to party, drink, get drunk. By the way, you don't even remember the night. Like, how could it be? How could it be a fun night when you are in a place? I'm not saying you. I'm talking in general.
But I also do this, so it's okay.
Listen. When you're in a place that you really don't want to be at, you really can't talk, you can't meet people, you're spending money, you're getting drunk, and you're going to bed late, so you're gonna have to get up later the next day. So you lose that Sunday. Lose that Sunday. Okay, shorten your weekend, and you have nothing to show for it, and you probably don't even remember most of the night. Now, I know I'm older. I was once a kid, so I was never a big partier. That was not my personality. I just don't get it. Life is short.
Me neither.
It's about intimacy, quality, and memories. So be around people. Doesn't mean you don't listen. Doesn't mean you don't have a good time. You let loose but every weekend, the kids, these clubs are making millions, and people, and then I can't fathom it. I don't even comprehend. It's like, you might as well talk a foreign language to me. I don't understand it, because why would you want to do that when? What time did you get up today?
Noon.
Yeah, well, that's half your day.
I know. But I also didn't go to bed till 6, so I had the night.
No, but the night, what night?
No, but I agree with you, and you're saying what I'm saying, just more like in a specific thing. And like, that's a cultural thing.
Yes.
And that didn't used to be the culture.
Your generation.
The culture in 1918 wasn't about living for the weekend. It wasn't about like just spending all your money on a couple days to just party and whatever. Like, that's a cultural thing that we're going through now, and that's not a good culture. It's not good. It's not, because there's no meaning in it, and that's just what I'm saying.
Let me tell you another thing behind that too. So when we grew up, our generation, we really got married in our mid to late 20s. That's what we did. And when you got married, there was like a little path. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. This is just the path and I'm making general statements. Okay. So when you got married, you ended up meeting somebody, and now you were building your life. And then a year or two, you had kids, and that helped you mature. And then you realized, and when you had your child, it gave you a self-worth and a purpose. When you look at your kids, it gives you, there's no love that you have, that you feel you have, until you have a child born. It becomes your child. And you say, how can I have that with a second child? And you do. You have the same amount of depth of love. It's just very different.
You don't with Bryce.
Just listen for a second. So when you do that, your life had more meaning, more purpose. You worked harder, wanted to provide them a better life. You wanted to build things so you can have a better life for your family. And you realized it was intimate. You were there with your friends that had, younger couples, and you were with your wife. There were meaningful things. Today, the kids, they don't want to, your age, they don't want to, we talked about it on our Zoom thing. It's too hard. People are paying the ass. It's a different time. They don't, everyone's get married later. Nobody wants a girlfriend. Nobody wants a boyfriend. But yet I think they all do. They just say that to make them feel better about themselves. And they just go out and party to let loose because they had a tough week, which really, a tough week, it's work. Your generation in the 20s, you can't have a tough week. You haven't worked for 30 years. No one's on the fucking roof. Listen.
You can have a tough week. It's just that doesn't.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Meaning, like, you're not the guy digging ditches. Or
I think you can have a tough week, but also, okay, so you had a tough week. Okay.
Correct. But you understand when I say tough week, not like the people going to these clubs in Miami, living on Brickell, they're not working in the sewer system. They're not putting on roofs in August in Florida. Most of them are not even doing physical labor that are going to these clubs till 5 a.m, okay, because they don't make that kind of money. Those guys have it fucking tough. Or living in Vermont, working on the fucking streets, you know what I'm saying? And you come home and it's freezing and your house is fucking 120 years old. Those don't even exist in Florida. So when you see these inner cities, these cities with that generation that they talk about a tough week, I'm sorry, I don't consider it a tough week. It's not a tough week. Do you know what I'm saying? They weren't in the army. None of you guys were in the armed forces. Those guys have a fucking tough week.
Yes. I mean, I also think like struggle is all relative. Like, yes, I agree. I agree with you, but I also do think just because someone's problem, like
everyone handles it, it's still a problem with that person.
Like all things are relative. So like even like to Tom Hanks, to bring him back, like he lives an amazing life, but
he has problems, right?
Right. And
but
like
I agree.
And he's in a different world, and so his problems to him are still problems.
But then maybe what we should do,
and so everything's relative.
But then Bronson, maybe what we should do when we think we have problems is really try to put it in perspective.
Yes.
And maybe we'd be better off and realize, you know what? I'll take my problems all day long. And then it makes let's look at the positive as opposed to the negative of the problem. Because you're right, everyone does have problems, and the wealthy or not.
And problems are problems.
100%, I agree with you. But I think we have to put in perspective.
Yes. And be grateful for that your problems could be worse. That's always a good thing. I don't know. I don't know where we're going with this.
We're just talking.
Yeah,
like
no,
we
I
always
know.
do.
I feel like my thoughts are
all over the place.
Yeah, I don't have a clear path on my thoughts just because I'm thinking all this out loud as we're coming to it. I just think there's like a problem in the culture.
I agree with you.
There's a big problem in the
culture.
And that's what I was trying to get. So when we were talking about the drug stuff, and I was like, why can't we just fix it beforehand? And you're like, you can't fix it beforehand. And it's just some people are that way. And I'm like, no, but some people are that way because it's the way their culture is. It's because society is the way that it is that those people are just the way they are.
I know, but Bronson,
and so like if we fix it before, if we reform the culture and make life meaningful and fulfilling for enough people and just overall better.
Who's we?
Society.
Who's we? But there's so many different societies, subcultures in our general umbrella of societies. Look at the difference between white and black. Look at the difference between, I'll give you an example. Bryce tells a story about work between a black Haitian and a black American. The two are both both black people and completely different views.
Right, but Dad, you're saying
I don't think we can cure it.
We can.
We can't.
I also think we're too big. There's too many people that are all trying to live in this world. Like,
I know what do you do with that? You can't kill. That's what Hitler wanted to do.
I think there are too many people in this world.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. We can't all exist happily in this world at the moment because there's so many of us.
But what's wrong with that? Why does everybody have to live in utopia and be happy?
No. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I just think maybe what it is that life is too much now. Like it needs to be simpler. We evolve, like as humans, our brains aren't able to cope with life like it is now. Like we evolved to just be an animal, like we evolved, like Banks, our dog.
We're a lot more than that.
No, but like what I'm saying is Banks, our dog, doesn't think about doing drugs because his life is just simple. I think and human life back in the day was simple.
But it's
like
not
if you just
anymore.
had your little right. And I'm
not.
saying I think that might be the problem. I think we need to go back to simpler times.
By the way,
I think we might need to go back to like smallish villages where you just kind of interact with 100 to 300 people, and you have your farm, and you just spend most of your day with just your family.
There are people, Bronson. We have Patreon members that live in small towns that have simpler lives.
But it's not even that. But like the internet still exists, so you're still connected to the whole world.
But then but people have a choice not to. Don't say.
And I think those people are happier.
People have to be responsible for their own actions. Period.
I would argue. I would gather that people who live on I mean, I have no basis for this. This is just speculation. But like people who live in a very small town in Montana and just spend most of their day with their family and like a few close friends, whatever, and maybe even like live off the grid, right? Like don't have internet, don't have TV. I would gather that those people are happier than the average American person who lives in Chicago and watches TV all day.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I don't know. Watch Mayor of Easttown. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Listen, Bronson, I get it's nice what you're saying, and I wish people were happier.
I don't know. I'm just thinking. I don't know.
Talking out loud. I wish people were happier. I don't think the solution, I think it has to start from within under your own roof, in your own house, and change things and teach people to be secure, happy with who they are.
But you can't do that if the person who's teaching you isn't that?
Okay, Bronson.
And no one's that, Dad.
Bronson,
no one is that.
Bronson, that's not true. Because the reality is, we as parents, if you're a parent, let me explain something. If you're a parent that doesn't want to better your children, we all have our own baggage. We come into certain things. Your mother and I, with our various upbringing and so forth, but we still as a parent have an obligation to make it better. And you can, I'm sure, have problems with me, problems with mom, and you can try to do things differently with your kid, and you do the best you can. That's all you can do.
But no, because if you're doing that to your kid, right? Like, let's say you work so hard and you're making such a good kid, and they turn out to be a great adult. They're still existing in the world of distractions and TV and internet. They're still existing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There is.
No, that's the world. That's the world we live in, Bronson.
Right. Okay, but just because something is the world we live in doesn't mean that I can say there's something wrong with it.
No, if you move to
there's something wrong with the world we live in.
If you move to Alaska in a remote place by yourself with no internet, no phone, none, anything like that, you're still gonna have a lot of stresses. Listen,
of course
you have
will.
a lot of
Of
problems.
course you will.
Okay, it's the question: how do you deal with them? The problem is people today look for, and it is a lot of the internet. It's a lot of our big
It's
business.
distractions. We're all distracted all the time.
There's been distractions for ages.
There's too much entertainment going on.
Okay,
It's like
you are putting too much blame on everything else as opposed to the individual person making the choices. Period. That's the entitlement, easy way out. People are responsible for their own fucking actions. Period.
I agree.
Done.
Of course.
That's it. Because if it ain't this distraction, there's gonna be another fucking distraction.
No, but it's just like have you read the book Brave New World?
No, I don't read.
Well, that's like everyone read that in like middle school.
You think I remember middle school?
Or like 1984. You probably read 1984.
Brave
New World is like definitely the better version. In Brave New World, it talks about, and it was so ahead of its time. It was written before the 50s. I think it was. I don't even know. It's crazy how ahead of its time. 1984 is the famous one, and that is a dystopia of like no entertainment, right? Like in 1984, it shows that the world is dystopia because everyone is just like focused on everyone's just like work all day and work for the big brother and have no fun with your friends and all that. It's like just work. I don't think that's not the dystopia we live in at all. Brave New World is the opposite dystopia of that. In Brave New World, it shows that the society is crumbling because everyone is so entertained all the time. Everyone's constantly watching all these amazing television shows.
Right, you want to go to fucking Dojo Cat for $300 New Year's Eve.
Yeah, and that's a problem.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So all I'm saying is I just think like we live in a society of so much entertainment and so much fulfillment that it's made the world
pathetic
less fulfilling.
And weak. Yes.
It's so...
That's
like literally, when's the last time you've been bored? Really bored for over an hour?
But I never was one to be bored. Because I can watch TV and relax.
That's what I'm saying. But like, the fact that we never are bored anymore is a huge problem. It is. This fact that we never sit in silence. No. When's the last time you've been in full silence without sounds for over 2 hours?
But why does that? But that's an individual choice. That might be something to you. That doesn't mean anything to me.
No, I know. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about on the societal level. I'm not talking about
Bronson,
you.
Society is where we are at. Okay,
no,
this is it. I know what you're saying.
Macro, not micro. I'm not.
I
understand
what you're saying, but it's not going to fucking change.
No,
it's not going to change.
I'm not saying. I'm not. Yes, it probably won't. I'm just talking about it. I'm not
arguing with you.
I'm not saying we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. I'm just talking. I'm just talking about trends. I'm just talking about what's going on in the world, about society, and that's a societal level. I'm not talking about the individual Joe, whatever in Minneapolis, because you're not. I'm just talking about culture as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I'm just saying, but I think it's
and I'm not saying
it on an individual basis. And
of course it does.
There's gonna be Indians and chiefs. There's only one chief. There's a lot of Indians. So you're gonna change for you and your family and how you live your life.
Yes, but of course, and I do live my life a certain way. I try to do certain things because I want to, but I'm just saying. I'm just talking about in a general level.
I get it.
I'm not talking about me and you need to change our lives. I'm just saying. I think society, a lot of the problems in our society are because of that. Because the world is too distracted. There's so many, like, society's shitty. That's what it is. Society wasn't shitty in
I disagree with you.
1794 America.
I disagree with you. I think fucking the world. I think that there's a lot of problems in our world, but I think there's so many things that the experience you can have that you can take advantage of, the opportunities that are out there.
A lot of pros that come with the cons.
So therefore, when someone resorts to drugs, and again, this is not a judgment call that I'm saying, and I'm not trying to say I don't have compassion, but some people are going to be drug addicts. Some people are just, that's what's going to happen.
But what I'm saying is
someone has to be a painter or someone has to be a doctor. That's what makes up the world. It's no different in the jungle when there's a weak cub or a strong cub, the alpha cub. There's one's a runt, one's not. That's just the way it is. I don't mean to make it sound.
No, I agree I agree. But what I'm saying, yes, I agree that there are some people that are. I don't blame
society as a whole for someone taking drugs, and I agree with you also that the drug is a byproduct of underlying emotional issues. But
even before that, like, all right, I agree. Some people have addictive personalities, and so if they try a drug once, they're going to become addicted or whatever. But the fact that there are even drugs that we like, the fact that heroin even exists.
Oxycodone should not be addictive.
But not even that. I'm just saying, like, the fact that heroin even exists, right? Something that we made. It doesn't exist in nature.
It does.
No, right? No, I know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the fact that even exists is a problem. The fact that there's enough of a desire for that is a problem. There wasn't the desire for heroin in 1843.
You're right. Listen, I agree with you, but things have changed, so I can't.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying.
But I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
I'm not saying we should. I'm just saying.
So therefore,
I'm just saying this toothpaste is out of the tube. Let's talk about that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we got to put it back in.
It's out of the tube.
Right, and I'm just right. So we shouldn't talk about it just because.
No, we can, but I think that it's sad. But I think that people need to be responsible for their actions.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I really think people, and I think that we as parents and try to better our children's lives so they have a better life than we had. I think that's what you do. It's instinctive, and if you don't do it as a parent, then you're fucked up. And we all know, Bron, there's a lot of fucked up people out there. Even good people have problems. That's just the way it is. We can't live in this utopia that does not exist.
No.
It will never exist. Never.
It definitely, and I think the best kind of life is actually not a utopia. Like, you don't want, I think a utopia is not fulfilling. If your life is constant happiness and fulfillment, constant, that's not fulfilling.
And I don't think it's realistic.
Like, I think a good life, and again, I'm just thinking out loud, like, this is just whatever, but I think, like, a good life, at least as what we evolved for as humans, is not one that's all fun and games. It's like, it should be there should be hardships, and there should be
adversity. Like,
yes, 100%. That makes it. That gives life meaning
because you appreciate the good.
So
things.
A utopia to me is meaningless. If you live in a perfect society, in a perfect world where everything's perfect, that's meaningless. Everyone in that world will be unhappy. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, right now, society, like I said earlier in this, society's so good that it's bad. Like, society's so easy and everything's so good that we're kind of, that's why 2021 is
I don't think society,
better, but it's been worse than it was 10 years ago.
It's so good.
No, right.
That's what I'm literally saying. Not good.
No, right.
And people know it's not good.
I'm not. No, maybe society's not so good. The world is so good that society's become bad, right? Like, most people have a car. Most people have air conditioning. Most people don't even think about starving. That's
not true, but go on. That part's not true. There's a lot of people starving.
Not really in modern America. Starving to death? No. A lot of people are worried about being able to afford food, but they're not starving.
Look, people have hard lives.
Totally.
People have hard lives.
We live in a
bubble. You know, we live in a bubble, you and I.
Yes.
People have very, very hard lives.
Yes, definitely.
And
even people in bubbles, life can be hard. To me, even if you're super wealthy,
health is the most important thing.
Yeah. I guess just to wrap this up, I just think that things are getting so good. And I'm not talking about individual. I'm talking about on a societal level. You can't argue that. I mean, you can. That's a bad sentence to say, but I would think you would agree that 2021 America, 2021, the world. I'm not talking about culture or whatever. The world as a whole is so much better in terms of what you can do than it was in 1712.
Okay. I didn't live in 1712, so I can only talk about listen.
No, but what I'm talking.
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but
I feel like I can't. I'm not like forming my thoughts.
But I think the world is worse than it was. Let me finish. Than it was 35 years ago. Much worse.
I'm not talking. No, I didn't say that right because you're not.
And I'm sweating my ass off in the sweat. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Society is worse. What I'm saying is like, yeah, whatever. I don't
want to cut you off.
Well,
I don't want to cut you off.
The world now is better, Dad. You can do like everything is better than it was 30 years ago in terms of the world, not in terms of society. In terms of the world, your cars are better than they were. Food's better than it was. There's more things to do. The internet, the idea of even the internet is better. You can talk to like.
And for everything you just said, I could say the opposite. I say cars are not made better than they were 30. No, but you're making points, and I have an opposite for each one of your points.
I'm making my points. I'm not making my points in a correct way.
And I don't understand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's my fault.
No, it's not fault. I just don't understand.
I'm just like you know what? This is the better word. This is what it is. The world's more advanced than it's ever been.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. The world's so more advanced than it's ever been.
And that's why simpler is, I think, better.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole thing, and you would disagree with me. I said, don't you think the small family in Montana, the simpler life is better? And you said, absolutely not.
No.
That's what I was. That's what I'm saying the whole time.
No, I'm saying they have problems too.
Of course.
That's
what I just said. Also, that life when people hardships are important in life.
When people say guns kill people, I say if it ain't guns, it's gonna be something else you can kill somebody with. People are self-destructive. Human beings, unfortunately, are self-destructive people. That's just the way it is.
No,
it's been like that for years.
No. That's not just the way it is.
I disagree with that.
Cavemen weren't self-destructive, Dad.
Okay.
That's because we live in this society and it's made people self-destructive.
Even 100 years ago, people were self-destructive.
Yes.
Okay. People self-destructive.
That's like saying, no, so there were drug addicts. People are drug addicts. It's like, no.
There will always be drug addicts.
Human DNA isn't...
There will always be drug addicts. There will always be... It's the way it is.
There will always be addicts. Because some people are addicts, but
my point is the drugs are here. So I know you're talking philosophically. I'm just saying.
Right, I'm talking. Yeah,
I get it, but I'm talking about in reality as well. And the drugs will always be here. We can't cure that.
Yeah, we can't. Yes, I agree.
We cannot cure it.
We can cure it if we make people have no desire for drugs.
Okay, you do know we cannot cure it. Period.
Definitely, we can.
Okay, we disagree.
We can cure it because if no one feels the desire for drugs, then drugs cease to exist.
You also said we could cure the internet if no one uses it.
Yes.
That's never happening. Literally, can we do it? Yes, because if we take it, but it's never happening. Don't you say it's never, ever happening? There's a difference. You're talking in I want to say utopia type way or a literal way saying, if we all boycott Amazon, it's not happening. Yeah. But let's not beat a dead horse. I appreciate I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you from a nicety, but I'm talking more of a practical reality. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
I'm not even talking about applying things. I'm just thinking. I'm not saying like we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this. Or
I know, but in 1700 in the caveman days, I wasn't there. I can only talk about what I know and what I lived in. Okay, and I do think that the internet is the main corruption in our world. The downfall of our society is the internet and the media. Period.
Entertainment.
Period.
That's what we're too entertained.
Period. But I blame, people. I think there's going to be all temptations with many things out there. It's just the way things are. I think if it's not this, it's something else. So do you blame the people or do you blame the cause of what brought somebody to it? Do you say,
both?
Well, he was not intoxicated, he didn't know what he was doing. But in reality, is he the one who took the drink in the first place? Do you see what I'm saying? So,
right, it's both. Both are the problem.
I think,
you can blame both.
I think we have problems, period.
Yeah.
But I think that from an individual basis, you have to decide what makes you happy and live your life that way. Yes. And I think that, look, we could talk about this for another hour and a half because I have a whole thing that I think, like I said, if people were to get married and they would start to buy things rather than Uber and lease and Venmo, and you felt what it was like, and you meaning
buy things instead of Uber.
Your generation doesn't want to buy cars; they Uber everywhere. Okay, if you have a car payment, you have responsibilities. Responsibilities. Do you remember when Bryce was like doing like 2 sports in school in high school and working on it? I think his grades were the best because up to 1 o'clock every night doing homework after school because he was busy, had to organize, structure his life. Why did it come down to one word? Accountability, right? So when you have responsibilities, you have to make those ends meet. The response, whatever they are. When things are too easy, say, I'm going to Uber it, I'm going to do this, whatever, no big deal, and you don't own anything, you have no accountability. Or when I always say when you take out the $100 out of your wallet and you pay for something, you see them break the 100 as opposed to Venmoing, which is like funny money. It is funny money. I don't care what you say.
It literally doesn't exist.
You don't feel it. You don't feel the fucking pain.
And it's not really money. It's just data being transferred. It's not really money.
So today we go to Flakewitz, so they have that. You could buy the card, you get 20% off. I had like $500 in my wallet. By the time I fucking put money into that card and gave all the waitresses there, the hostess and the who's the guy that cleans the table? Busboy. I gave him holiday gifts. I saw the money. I'm left like $100. But you feel it. Do you understand? You feel it.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up because this is long. I just think, just to wrap it up, I guess, I think society. I'll use this word because it's a good word. Society's too advanced. We're too advanced that it's not fulfilling for in general. Okay.
And I think people are too fucking lazy.
Right, and but that's exactly
listen,
that's a symptom.
No,
you're not born lazy.
No,
a 3-day-old human is not lazy.
Okay,
that's a symptom of society and culture.
Okay, I don't think it's because of. I hear what you're saying, but I think that if people, I think this comes from fucking within the home. I think it starts from within the home. Period.
Right, but no matter how hard you work in the home now, it's going as society keeps advancing, life's going to keep getting easier, and therefore, things are just going to.
It's life is going to get more advanced. Period. There's no way it's ever going backwards in time. We know
unless something cataclysmic happens.
It's not happening.
Right. Easily could. Right. If the power grid goes down tomorrow, you better believe that advancement's going away.
Okay.
Any day, a solar flare can just take all the power out in the world. All right,
we'll talk about that another time. Daddy Issues sweatshirts. Go online, get them, Bronny. How do you get them again?
Daddy Issues, the podcast /shop. Or you can go to
look at it. Turn straight so they can see it. Look at that. Really nice.
Or you can go to Instagram and buy it through.
And he goes like those right up there.
That's on TikTok.
Yes, he does. All right, guys. Love you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. We will catch you in a week. Or if you're going to go on you're a Patreon member, we'll catch you on Wednesday. And good job, Ronnie Boo.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too, buddy. You're joking, right?
Well, I'm trying to be hopeful. I'm trying to be optimistic about that.
Well, I guess you're too young to be a little pessimistic like me. The fucking things I see out there, people are stupid.